Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fight.
I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that I step in the ring.
The highly anticipated showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is inching closer to becoming a reality. As the undisputed super middleweight champion, Canelo has intensified the pressure, making it clear that he's ready for the challenge. In response, Crawford hasn't held back, firing back directly at the Mexican superstar, fueling excitement for what could be a historic clash.
Fighter like Errol Spence is, but other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very easy.
After months of negotiations, the long-awaited showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is shaping up to be one of the most thrilling matchups in recent boxing history. Crawford, a four-division world champion, is aiming to make history by stepping up to the 168-pound division, a formidable challenge against one of the sport's top pound-for-pound fighters. However, the battle has already begun outside the ring, with Crawford igniting a war of words against the Mexican champion, setting the stage for a historic clash between two undisputed title holders.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'd be a well-fought fight for both of us.
In a recent interview shared on journalist Die Boxing Man's X account, Canelo Alvarez questioned Terence Crawford's credentials, claiming that his resume lacks the depth of a true champion. "Look, I respect Terence Crawford. He's very talented, but he's only won one big fight. If you examine his record, the only great fighter he has beaten is Errol Spence. Other than that, he hasn't faced multiple elite opponents like Spence has," the Mexican champion stated. Crawford wasted no time firing back, taking to his own X account to issue a direct warning to Canelo, making it clear that he's ready to prove him wrong in the ring.
About a small fighter like Charlo, he's big, which he is big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford.
Crawford didn't hold back in his response to Canelo's remarks, stating, "Out of all the fighters I've faced, only one has been truly good. Keep that in mind, because I've got a history of making fighters with big reputations look like nobodies." With these words, Crawford not only fired back at Canelo, but also escalated the tension leading up to their potential clash. The rivalry between the two fighters is rapidly intensifying, promising to deliver a spectacle both inside the ring and outside it. The bad blood brewing between two of the world's best boxers is sure to make this confrontation one of the most anticipated in recent boxing history.
Fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that.
During an interview with a respected boxing platform, Canelo Alvarez continued to discuss his potential showdown with Terence Crawford. The 34-year-old Mexican champion acknowledged the significance of the fight, stating that he knew he wouldn't receive much credit for taking on Crawford. "I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and I've always said that, no disrespect to him. But sometimes, it's crazy to me that people talk about a big fighter like Charlo, and then there's all this talk about whether I'll face Crawford, a fighter from 147 pounds who's smaller than Charlo. It just doesn't add up. But you all say it, and at the end of the day, I know I won't get credit if I face Crawford. Still, you never know. You never know in boxing. I've always been willing to move up and down and face anyone, so yeah, it's possible. Why not? It's possible."
He's an undisputed champion.
Well, I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight because Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer.
In a follow-up to his earlier comments, Canelo Alvarez reiterated his stance on facing Terence Crawford, saying, "I'm in. Why not?" Crawford's a great fighter, but for me, at my weight class, it's an easy fight, easy money. If the money's right, I'm in. I don't particularly enjoy fighting guys like Crawford because of his movement. The fight isn't always that exciting. But after watching Crawford's last fight, he doesn't move as much now, so yeah, if the money's right, I'm in. This fight, which has been brewing for months, would see Canelo defending his 168-pound title, while Crawford would be moving up 2 weight classes, a significant challenge for the American. Despite the disadvantage, Crawford remains confident in his ability to take on the Mexican champion. As part of the negotiations, both fighters are expected to have a tune-up bout before their highly anticipated showdown.
Boxer puncher, and he is totally ambidextrous. So he drives his opponent crazy because the opponent trains to fight a right-handed fighter and ends up fighting a southpaw.
Just days ago, Canelo Alvarez confirmed that he has secured the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for a fight on September 13th, marking his second bout of the year. Bob Arum, who previously promoted Terence Crawford's fights before they parted ways in 2021, believes that Crawford's ability to seamlessly switch stances could present a challenge for Canelo, despite the significant weight difference. I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight, Arum told FightHike.com. Crawford has a unique skill set. He's a fantastic boxer-puncher, and he's fully capable of adapting to any situation.
And that's what happened to what's his name?
Errol?
Errol.
Yeah.
Errol. Yeah.
Errol Spence.
Arum continued, highlighting Crawford's versatility, saying, he drives his opponents crazy because they train to face a right-handed fighter, only to find themselves up against the southpaw. That's exactly what happened with Errol Spence. Spence was preparing for a righty, and suddenly he had to deal with Crawford switching stances. Arum believes Crawford may be eyeing a matchup similar to the iconic Manny Pacquiao versus Oscar de la Hoya bout, where the underdog Pacquiao overcame the odds. While Canelo had been previously dismissive of facing Crawford, his perspective shifted after both fighters engaged in positive discussions with Saudi Arabian boxing executive Turki Al-Sheikh during a meeting in London earlier this month. Alvarez, now 34, defended his titles twice in 2024, scoring decision victories over Jamie Munga and Edgar Berlanga. Meanwhile, Crawford cemented his legacy as a 4-weight world champion by capturing the WBA super welterweight title with a points win over Isramad.
There's loads of things going around at the moment, including a big clash with Canelo Alvarez. Can you tell us what's going on in that situation, and can that happen next?
We shall see, who knows?
The question of whether Canelo Alvarez, a 4-division world champion, will fight on his traditional Cinco de Mayo date in May remains unanswered. Should he decide to have a bout before facing Terence Crawford, there's speculation that he could take on International Boxing Federation champion William Skull. A victory in that bout would enable Canelo to reclaim his status as the undisputed super middleweight champion, adding to the intrigue of his upcoming showdown with Crawford.